Siram. Dim dim da 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 dim dim da 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 dim da di dum. Dim dim da 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 dim dim da 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 dim da di dum. Dans là-haut sera ravi, les toits à sur noir gris fera. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, trouvera effet. Clair, obscur, bordé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, trouvera effet. Clair, obscur, bordé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Ô clair, obscur, trouble, rature, clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, couvrera effet. Clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, trouvera effet. Clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle.
Hi.
Obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, courbera effet. Clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle.
Bonjour. 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 Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Good morning. Bro has such a big nose. I do. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not even gonna cut. My nose is fucking gigantic. What's good, boys? All right. We got a short Earth stream today. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I got somewhere to be at 2:30. I gotta take the kiddies into a vet appointment. I gotta take them in because they're sick. So I got to take them in, make sure that Banjo and Bep are all good, but everything's okay. We gonna get through it, which means we won't stop. And I'm gonna be real, guys. I got a sponsor to do today. Straight up. Today's stream's gonna suck ass. Legit. Legit. How long till 2:30? Like 4 hours and 7 minutes. Yeah. Hey, where are you? Know what I'm saying? We got this sponsor called Ragnarok X. That we gonna do later. Yep. Mods. I need y'all to play that shit with me, bro. Okay? I need y'all to play that shit for me. With me. Okay? So I'm gonna need you to do that. Let me just, let me download this game before I get anything else, real quick. How you doing? I'm doing great, man. How good's the water? I heard the water's great. Yeah, I heard it was really good. Yeah, really excited for this one. Let me, get this shit going real quick. Extract. Yerp. Okay. Let me get this shit going, and then we're gonna like warp We're going to warp speed through all the daily scramble that we possibly can. Let me just make sure this is starting to download. Great, great, great. Sugoine, Sugoine, Sugoine. Let me tell Sophia, where is this one? There they are. Legit, I think the amount of cat piss on our floors is making us sick. I straight up think that's what it is. Great. Yeah, dude, everybody in the house just feels fucking sick because Beppin just doesn't use the fucking litter box to piss anymore. We don't know what's going on. But like it's fucking terrible, bro. It legit is fucking terrible. So I gotta figure out something to do. Alright, cool. This should be good. God damn, bro. Why the fuck is the Discord channel popping the fuck off? Jesus. It's a lot of motherfuckers in there. Good for them, bro. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Is Ragnarok downloading? It is. I never played one of these games before. How y'all doing? That could actually make you sick? Oh, yeah, I know. Maybe I ask her to find a carpet cleaner. Can you find and call a person to come deep clean our carpets? I will pay for it. See if you can find one that will come quick. Is this a sexy baldman that called Frogan fat? Yeah, and then I got told that I'm still fat too, so, hey guys, I'm gonna be real. If you're fatter than me, you're fat as fuck. Okay, if you can't bench press 275 for 4 reps, you are weak as fuck. Yep, you gonna have to, boys. You gonna have to. Hey, I found out today that I outbench Hassan. Yep, found out about that shit. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Feels good. What's this? Bro did the goon demote? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? What does it even mean? I don't even know what the fuck this means. All right, great. Steroids are natural. Just full disclosure. So I got sick during COVID. Very, very, very sick. And I got this debuff planted inside my body where my testosterone levels dropped horrendously. The average testosterone levels for a normal human being is 800 to 1200. Right now, I'm sitting at about 1,000. But I am using TRT, not to enhance my testosterone levels, but to regulate them to where they're not debuffed. But yeah, I am on testosterone for sure, but not to go beyond any limits. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I recommend everybody getting their testosterone checked, by the way. Living with low T is literally like the worst thing ever. I mean, while cancer is probably worse, but it's pretty fucking bad. I think Hassan's gonna go after your cats next. Dude, bro's cats pee on the floor. That means that he pisses on the floor. Yeah, to be honest, that wouldn't really be that much of a reach for him. Yeah, I mean, he really is competing to be the biggest retard on planet Earth. All right, cool, let's get into it. Good morning, boys. Flex your muscles. Nah, I'm good, bro. I ain't your hoe. I'm good, man. I'm good. All right, cool, let's get into it. Y'all ready? We got a lot of work to do today, boys. We got a lot of work to do today. And we are speeding through this shit, too. All right, let's close this. This music sucks. I need to find better music next time. Let's go to the daily scramble so everybody feels nice and heard. By the way, if you want to join this to get your videos reacted to, discord.gg/Tectone. Everybody can join. It's completely free. You can submit your own. Videos every single day, up to 3 times a day, and I will react to everything that does not look like shit. Yep. All right, Joey got married. I saw that. Good for them. I'm gonna be real. I already thought they were. Yep. I honestly thought this was a prank because I already thought they were already married because I cannot imagine waiting 10 years to propose. Like that's crazy to me. That's crazy. Are you playing anything today? Yeah, bro. We're sponsored to play Ragnarok X. I'm really excited. Yeah, dropping this on Mother Days is crazy. Sister leveling true. Vars 2, welcome to war. Traveler versus Trailblazer versus Rover. Which gotcha MC is the best?
Twitter is a magical place where controversies, debates, and arguments can erupt out of nowhere, and within 24 hours of literal...
Well, is this like you know, I'm down. Sure, why not? Bro, you need to watch this. When anime farmers meet! Exclamation point. I just like don't really want to watch some shitty ass fan animation. I don't know why. I'm good. Do you have a goon sphere? Meat Canyon Goon. What the fuck Bro, it's like an 18-minute video on gooning? What the fuck? Okay, yeah, I'm down to watch that. Why the fuck not? Kanye song officially gone too far. Yeah. You know, I bet a lot of people have a lot of fun with that song, but I'm gonna be real, like, I just don't really see the reason to, like, glorify Hitler. You know what I mean? Like, if I was an edgy teenager, I might find that shit funny, but I'm like 31 years old. And yeah, I understand the damaging effects that's had on a lot of Jews on the earth. So yeah, I'm good. You know, like, I mean, I hope they're having a lot of fun with it though. All right, cool. The one typo that changes the whole context. How much food did this fat loser eat? No idea. Weight materializing beyond the screen. Revenge of the Sick. Is Hassan being watched by the feds? Sure hope so. World chat's crazy. What's MTash? You can't. Wash CC with a dead channel. You want to know why this is crazy? It's because I know this is the real MTash. At least he's self-aware, right? A lot of CCs don't have that. At least he's self-aware. That's what's great. Yep, bro, I logged in yesterday and off-rip, they were shitting on Atsu, Lamau. Good, man. I mean, I'm assuming a lot of my chat's in there, and I'll be real. You know, my chat really likes holding people accountable, so you know what? Good for them, man. Underage crimes in Australia. What the fuck? Could you pass this tongue twister? If a philosopher philosophizes, philosophically, what the fuck? If a philosopher philosophizes, philosophical philosophies, no, I can't. Controversial games. We already have this pulled up. We're going to react to that later. Where the hell she pulled out. A very good critique about Saint. It's not about Woo-Wah Glaze.
I feel like I've...
It's a fucking hour!
Much love, my guy.
Bro, what? It's a fucking hour? All right, Persona 5 Gotcha review. I did want to watch this. Thank you. I had this pulled up and I closed it. New item a video about
Hey, Baldy.
Amaranth. I
Hope
do
you
want to
have
see
a
what's
good
going
day.
on with Amaranth. That does sound like a good time. Skyrim Brain Rot. What is wrestling even about? It's about dudes fighting dudes. It's anime for rednecks. For the laughs. Kodama Shaga. New Kids for Kanto 8. I'm too stupid to even know what those things fucking do. I'm too much of a fucking tourist. By the way, I would like to announce me, Shinya, Sarah, and Genazad will all be running the same guild when Etheria Restart comes out. So, if any other CCs that are going to take the game seriously want to join, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, we're all going to be in the same guild. Yep. And we will take all of our best champions from each of our chats and we'll combine them into one. Yeah, because I think the content would be just much better. I think it would be much better if we were all in the same guild. It's really that easy. Are you going to whale day one? Absolutely, 100%. I've already dropped $1,000. Yeah, dude, I already dropped one fucking grand. I plan on getting a Heinrich pretty much immediately. That is the big goal, is to get a Heinrich. Yeah, and if I get that, then I'm good to go. How many members do you have? I think 50. We'll see. You Tectone video dropped a new one? Ayo, new Tectone, a new one? VA? Great. Yo, boys, this video is going to get completely eviscerated because I'm live. Can you guys go here and just like the video so it gets pushed out of the algorithm? I would greatly appreciate that. I'm live, so this is going to completely fucking obliterate any chance this video has of hitting the algorithm. And I'll be real, I had 5 videos hit the algorithm yesterday, so I am greatly praying that you guys can go click this. It would mean the fucking world to me. Please, if you got like 2 fucking seconds, it would be amazing. But I shit you not. Look at this shit. 150 fucking thousand on the Hassan video. 100K, 85K, 150K. Yesterday was a damn good video on you, or a damn good day for YouTube. That shit was good as fuck. Let's keep going here. Got to make an impression of Etheria Restart. It's good because it's very good. The game is very good. Is this like a full
What's
video?
going on, ladies and gentlemen?
28-minute video. Is it sponsored? It is not sponsored. A 28-minute video is fucking insane. I'd rather just put out my opinion than react to his. But yeah, skull emoji times 7. Must see Hassan Beggar's 450% fuck now. The thing is, I do love Nux, but his videos are far too long for me to react to. Hassan is hosting a talk at the University of Chicago. Jesus Christ, what does the world come to? Jack Doherty's life is falling apart.
Jack Doherty.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Also, More Pegasus said he'd be down to do a podcast with me. So I might be doing a podcast later with Nux, More Pegasus, and Kirsch. But we will see. Hopefully we can make that a reality. I'm going to see if I can make that work. I think I can make that work, but that could be future content, which I'm very, very, very excited about. Thoughts on, I think she looks better in her original outfit. VTuber allegation wars have started. The allegations aren't true. VTuber abandoned after shocking allegations. Takahata 101 situation. What?
Okay, so recently it seems like there's been something going on pretty weird with Takahata. Now, if you don't know, Takahata is a pretty big VTuber. Obviously, he's got 152,000 followers over on Twitter and also over 100,000 over on YouTube as well, which, yeah, obviously he's a very...
Yeah, I'll be real. Yeah, I don't really care. Well. Cartethia leaks somewhere in 32 seconds. Aegisar 3.3 trailer. Oh, is this new? Is this showing the fucking cat? Where the cat at? Where's the cat? Why have I not seen the cat? Where's the cat? Oh, there's the cat. Hold on, I found her.
Seriously.
Show me the cat.
Seriously. Where did they hide that thing? Cat and mouse time!
She really don't seem that fast, low-key.
Fine, so I can leave early. Our cute play session is over.
Yeah, she is really fucking hot, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
We'll take it off.
Yeah, I just don't believe that an enemy can be faster than Cypher. That just makes no fucking sense. Like, this early? Like, the bitch ain't even out yet. To be already faster? That makes no sense. Like, that's her whole thing, is that she's fast. When she's not fast, she, like, loses all the hype. Oh my god, Cypher fucking died, dude. Oh my god, they killed her. Oh my god, she's gonna die, guys. The character's gonna die. Look, she died. You see, we showed her on the screen. She's dead. She's fucking dead, guys. Oh my god. Well, you gotta go watch and see how she died. Look, Cypher died, but oh, she's fine. Oh, never mind. She's all good. Never mind. Great. There you go. I summarized the entire story for you so you don't have to watch that shit. Great gotcha trailer. Is this some gay dude cosplaying Genshin? Inside. God, this shit is so fucking gay. Jesus Christ. Good God. Like, come on, bro. You think me as a 31-year-old man gonna watch that gay ass shit? Jesus Christ. No, thank you. All right, cool. Daily Scramble taken care of. We got, how many bars do we have to take care of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. All right, I can already say...
39 months, let's go, we support the big egg man, we go.
Thank you, bro, I appreciate that. After tomorrow, I have no more ads to do for... Oh, no. So I will be streaming twice today. I will be streaming twice today. I will be streaming twice. Yes. I will be streaming twice today. Turns out I have not one, but 2 sponsors today. Is this tonight? When is PST in my time? Are you about? Yes. No, I apparently have 2 sponsors to do today. Which honestly seems great to me. And I'm gonna just tell you what it is. So apparently, a huge new gacha game. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. So apparently a huge new gacha game is getting released tonight. I have no idea what it is. I can't even be told what it is. But I'm going live at 7 p.m. PST. I don't know what it is. And I believe this game that hasn't even been announced is fancying themselves as the Genshin killer, which that sure would be nice. But I guess I'm going live to react to that shit later. And they're paying me to react to it, which, like, hell yeah, I'm fucking down. I'm just so confused how it's the day of and I still can't be told what the fuck this fucking game is. Like, it's the day of. I legit forgot. This is today, right? May 12th. That's today. You mean the trailer and not the release? Yes, yeah, a trailer is being released today. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're all gonna find out together. Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out. A game with no leaks, that's nice. Yeah, I got no idea what this shit is. Yeah. Okay, so that's 9 p.m. my time. So I guess I'm streaming twice. So I guess I'll stream now, then I'll go to the cat vets, then I'll go to the gym, and then once I'm back from the gym, I'll stream again. Which honestly, that works out great because I'm kind of scamming y'all with like a fucking sponsor again. Which, sorry guys, once both of these sponsors are done, then I don't have any sponsors for a while. I think the next one I'll have is I have Snowbreak in June. I have Hunter's Roulette in June. And then I have one where they want me to go live at any time for 2 hours, smoke weed, and play Schedule 1. Which all right. Sure, I'm down. When you gonna get an Ananta sponsor? I got no idea. But yeah, all right. Well, I guess we're gonna figure all that shit out. Anyways, yeah, let's get into it. We got a lot of things that we want to react to. And yeah. I found a really cool video about everybody's favorite gotcha god, the god of unemployment, the god of begging, the god of unfilled job applications, the god. I can't even think of another derogatory word to call this fucking guy. Apparently some guy interviewed Toho, and I got no idea what this is, but it's made by Psyche, who usually makes pretty good videos, so I just wanted to watch it and see maybe there's a man behind that big old retard on the screen. And he also uploaded another YouTube video, which I've been debating reacting to. I've been debating, but we will see.
I had the chance to interview a whale that spent...
Careful, guys. You will lose financial status and your dignity the longer you watch this man.
well over $100,000 on gacha games.
Jesus.
And through this chance, I learned about what it's like in the inner minds of someone with such disposable income from their unique perspective.
Jesus.
Whaling is often stigmatized in Western gaming culture, with some even debating whether...
Okay, let me correct that misinformation. Do you know how pathetic it is when a man spends $100,000 on gacha games? Now, I spent $500,000 on gacha games. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because each time I spent money, I got more money back because I would do one summon in the game for one sub in real life. Of that $500,000 that I spent, I made back $2.3 million. $2.3 million. And I'm still collecting off that feat that I fucking did a couple years ago. It is what it is. When you say Toho had $100,000 of expendable income, that is factually incorrect, Psyche. You need to do your research because bro ain't got no money. That's why bro was begging me for a job because this shit weren't working out. This guy ain't spending money on content. He's spending money because bro's a fucking loser. That's the big fucking difference, man. That's the big fucking difference. And by the way, Toho, if you're watching this, all I need is an apology and I'll get off your ass. It's really that easy.
It's acceptable or just extremely harmful behavior. I have my pre-existing biases and beliefs regarding whaling as well, and it's through this exchange that I gained some insight on how there's another side of the story. My name is Psyche, and let's learn what whaling truly is.
Sure.
To start off,
bro should have interviewed me. I'm way better. I'm way better. This video would have been way better if it was me.
My guest, Tuhu, formerly known as Toho Sniper 98 on YouTube, is a self-proclaimed gacha god.
I am so glad he said self-proclaimed, because nobody, and I mean nobody, is calling him that besides himself. It's insane. All he does is go live. All he does is go live and says, I'm the greatest there ever is. Everybody else sucks. You know what? He sounds like he's trying really hard to be me, but the thing is, him and I's aura is way fucking different. You know, this guy says he plays 13 gotchas. That's great, man. I've played 30 fucking one, but you don't see me saying it 8 times every goddamn video. Bro needs to get a fucking grip.
And a fellow content creator that typically does general discussion videos as well as documenting his ongoing accounts with monthly updates across the gacha games he plays. No, that background with 10 games running at once is not pre-recorded. He's actually just that deep into gacha. Well, this video will play snippets.
Bro, yo, chat, what's cooler? A guy who plays 13 gacha games at the same time, or a guy who has one job? Which one has more aura?
Of the interview to solidify certain talking points. The full footage will be released by Tuhu on his channel.
But I can't get a job. Because if I get a job, then all my waifus will feel neglected.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Toho Sniper 98, but you can just call me Tuhu because the first name's a little too long. And I, like Mr. Psyche has said, am a gacha whale. Or at least I used to be for the bulk of my gacha career, if you want to call it that. I started playing gacha.
Wait a minute. Why was his room so big and now his room is so small? Uh-oh.
Or at least I used to be for the bulk of my gacha career, if you want to call it that. I started playing gacha games back with FGO back in 2017 with the launch of the NA server. And
Too who? More like too poor to afford rent.
I've been playing gacha ever since, steadily picking up more and more, to the point where I can call myself a gacha god. And
once again, I'm glad that Toho said that he can call himself a gacha god, because ain't nobody calling the god of beggars anything different.
Nobody can really contest me on that, because I'm currently playing a dozen gacha games and counting, because I have more gacha games that I like to pick up. So it's probably I can call myself a gacha god, and nobody can really contest me on that, because I'm currently playing a dozen gacha games and counting, because I have more.
No one can contest that I call myself a gacha god, because I played 12 gachas. You mean the Chaos Emeralds? I've collected them all, Sonic. Bro, nobody thinks that's cool, man. Nobody thinks that's cool. You were just saying, yeah, I'm a big fucking retard. And I got nothing going on, so all I do is jerk off to anime characters. Brother, you got children in your background, brother. What is you doing?
More gacha games that I like to pick up, so it's probably the amount of money I spent on gacha games overall.
Bro, don't pick up another gacha game, man. Fucking pick up a pen and file out a job application, goddamn.
It's probably over 100K. I don't know exactly how much. I probably should, but, you know, for the sake of my own sanity, I don't bother.
You know what's really funny about Toho? Toho fancies himself knowing all this shit about gacha games. Yet 90% of his videos are, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Legit. Like, dude, I can literally go watch any of his new content, and I guarantee you he's going to say, I'm the gacha god. I know everything about gachas. Oh, here's a controversial opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's insane.
Knowing what that number is.
Taking the first step is often the hardest. There is a psychological tendency called the sunk cost fallacy. It states that people are more likely to follow through with something if they already sunk some degree of investments into it.
True.
In the world of in-game microtransactions, studies have found that players that already spend money on a game are more likely to spend more at a later time. This is why a lot of games sell beginner packs that are dirt cheap, but contains very valuable items.
The reason why they make beginner packs so cheap is because the first payment that you do is the hardest one. And you want to know why that is? Because that's the one where you got to enter your credit card information. That's the one where you got to sync up your PayPal. So they want to give you like 10,000% value, just so that way, once your foot's in the door, they can probably get you all the way in. Yeah, that's why that happens.
Even if you spend as little as $1, you're now invested.
Yep.
And that becomes the anchor for you to psychologically justify spending more.
Yep.
Understanding the addictive nature of this practice, I asked Tuhu what his first dip into gacha game spending was, and how it felt like to experience it for the first time.
I have to kind of get into specifics of how I started playing FGO, or like the very early days of me playing FGO here. For me personally, I can say this right now, it wasn't necessarily sunk cost fallacy, though when I explain my story, maybe.
Asking a gacha addict to recognize his addiction. It's not gonna work, man. It's really, we're about to see full cope, full denial.
It can have shades of it, but that's up to you to judge. How I started spending on FGO specifically, for some backstory, one of my IRL friends kept bugging me to try out FGO. Hey, you should try FGO. Specifically, it was talking about the JP server, and I just wasn't very interested at the time until Anime Expo 2017. If you don't know what Anime Expo is, it's the largest anime convention out here in Los Angeles, Southern California, and turns out I really enjoyed it. I really liked playing at.
My buddy just kept on telling me to try cocaine, and I was like, no. But then I finally tried it, and I really liked it. Now I'm the god of cocaine.
It was very different. It was a very different game that I had never experienced before. I thought it was really cool that you can control these servants and you play like a turn-based game type thing, and it seemed really cool. And I got really super into it. I started grinding it quite a lot. By the end of the con, I had invested enough time and effort into it, so I was like, okay, I can justify putting in some money. I remember
There it is, dude. There it is.
First time that I spent money on FGO was after the con was over. Me and my boy.
Do you want to know why I can go from spending $500,000 on gacha games to then also just playing Honkai Star Rail completely free to play for a fucking year? It's because when I spend, it's because it's for fun, right? Oh, Banjo, what is going on? What? What are we barking at? What's going on? The door's closed. How do you get out, buddy? How do you get out? Oh, let me let you out. Hold up. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's get you out of here. Come on, there you go, buddy. It's just me and you today, Simba. It's just me and you today, Simba. Yeah, it's just me and you. Yeah, don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's because I've already beaten my gacha addiction. It's very, very, very easy. You just stop spending. It's that easy. Yep, you just stop. Yeah, you just stop and you just don't do it.
Boys, the group that I usually went to Anime Expo to back then.
Now to the point where I just fucking hate spending money on gacha games. It feels fucking terrible. I think the only game that I'm actually going to spend any more on gacha games is probably Etheria Restart. Because I do really want to beat up poor people again. It's going to be nostalgic for me.
We're hanging out at this Korean barbecue restaurant just to celebrate the end of the con. And once we were done eating, I was like, all right, time to do it. Whip out my phone and I put in my first $80 pack and start rolling. Right? That's how they get you. However, the reason why I kept spending was because I realized I really like collecting characters. That's my tick for me. I really enjoyed the feeling of obtaining new characters and then grinding materials to get them like all invested in stuff. I'm a little bit different from most gacha players, because I would assume, my assumption is that most gacha players, at least a lot of them out there, like rolling gacha for the sake of rolling, right? Because obviously gacha rolls tap into.
I can't tell you how easy it would be for me to stop spending if I just wasn't like playing these games on stream. It would be so easy, right? It would be so fucking easy. You just don't. Right? You just don't. Right? But like being so financially incentivized to spend because this is like the content that you make is like, it's a lot more difficult to stop. But that being said, I still made it work with free to play Honkai Star Rail. But then once I realized I don't want to main that game anymore, then it becomes very difficult.
You probably know this better than I do on like a psychological level.
Yeah,
appeals to our dopamine rush, our perhaps you could call it our primal psychological like desire to find like fancy new stuff, right? Because survival instincts and whatnot. That's a whole nother topic for.
Why the fuck is bro talking about the human DNA and our built-in psychology and DNA? Like what is bro going on about?
Not the day, but yeah, like I could say that most gacha players like rolling gacha because of that. For me, however, I just wanted to get new characters so that I could grind for them, get them all leveled up, and be able to use them in battle, and as an extra little perk, flex them to my friends. And hey,
I don't think any human being has a survival instinct to collect PNG cards in their video games.
Here's what I have that you don't, that kind of thing. That never changed, and so that has always been my.
But didn't you go homeless by playing Summoner's War? Yeah, I did. This was 8 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer than that. That's because I fucking hated my life, right? So people who do this type of spending and can't control themselves usually don't like their fucking life, right? So all you got to do is just be happy and work out and get a girlfriend, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
My primary motivating factor of rolling or spending money on gacha games is to primarily.
That's why, like, I don't want to hook this up to any DNA built into carnal desires. It's, bro, you hate your life. That's why you can't stop spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on gacha games.
Obtain new characters, not necessarily
He's talking about it real fancy, but what he should just say is, I'm depressed and I have an addiction, and that's it.
for the dopamine rush
Girlfriend does not equal happiness, chatters. A good girlfriend does, that's for sure.
of rolling gacha in and of itself. So I actually had a purpose in that. I'm not sure if that's exactly like some sort of higher purpose. It's probably not, but that's my story.
Whaling is often stigmatized in Western gaming culture.
Holy
When you hear about someone
titties.
that spends thousands of dollars on microtransactions, the response is usually not the most positive. As someone that's very open about spending habits, I wanted to ask Tuhu regarding his opinion on the matter.
So starting from the very beginning, whaling has always been stigmatized, even back when I played. And I'm sure it's always been.
I guarantee you that this video was the root point for why Toho got an addiction, because this larger content creation channel reached out to him and interviewed him, and this gave him interview ego, which is a very real thing, because once you get interviewed for something, it glorifies that addiction. But in reality, this isn't an interview, this is an intervention. And I don't feel that Toho is acknowledging this yet so far.
That way even before then too. I will say that, or I want to make it clear that I do think this is more of a Western problem. And when I say the West, I mean like, English-speaking countries. Whaling is, I want to say, a lot more accepted out in the East, right? In Japan, Korea, China. So this is more of a Western issue. I don't want to call it a problem per se, but it can definitely be called an issue. But
Okay, so I don't want to call it a problem. I want to call it an issue. This is his desperate attempt in trying to sound intellectual. So let's look this up. Problem, synonyms, issue. They're both issues. They're both problems. It's borderline the same word, right? And I'll be real, if you're saying whaling isn't a problem in gacha games, you are so fucking cope, it's insane. There is no way anybody thinks that spending hundreds of thousands of dollars is a normal thing in any territory. There's no way.
But yeah, like I said, whaling has always been pretty stigmatized.
A common missed point is that whales are necessary for a game's survival. While the majority of players don't spend or
No, they're not.
only do so sparingly, the pillars of a game's continuous development have to be made up by whales. While this is typically
Nah, because you can use player retention metrics in order to get investors into the company. Having big whales really helps a lot, but you're not living and dying by your whales by any means. There's separate metrics.
not a problem in huge titles, the majority of mobile game fan bases are relatively small, and still need to maintain a steady player base and income to keep operating. People can
To be honest, it's more so the dolphins that are the necessary reason for a game survival, right? But whales, you don't need players to be spending millions of dollars individually in order for a game to survive. That's just fucking cope.
have their monthly dose of PvP over revenue figures, and even though many believe that the reported numbers are inaccurate, if a particular game's numbers are consistently getting lower, there's enough reason to be worried. Not everyone needs to pitch in and fund the game that they enjoy, but whales need to exist so that free-to-players can keep playing for free. They become the hero that people don't want, but the hero they need.
Once again, it's very easy. Free-to-play players are the ones that log in the most because they have to grind the most, right? And that helps player retention numbers for the game to sell those numbers to the investors, right? So they actually work in tandem. There should be no situation where free-to-plays are groveling at whales' feet and whales get fucking ego for spending lots of money. That's something that I used to think until I got more informed, but it is very idiotic.
Some people need to pay for gachas, right? And those are going to be your whales, because gacha games are based off the free-to-play model, right? These games are free, but developing content for them certainly isn't. So the money's got to come from somewhere. And so if at least some of your players decide that it's worth their time, it's worth their money to whale a whole lot, then that means that, none of the rest of the other players need to pay. And, personally, I don't really mind that model.
How do you know this? Well, it's very simple, okay? So when these developers play their games, they can see how many people are playing their games. Let's say the game is making $500,000 and the game has 5 players that have all spent $100,000. That to investors realize that this isn't a game that's going to last long term. And every single time that one of these players quits, they're going to lose 20% of their fucking net revenue every single month. It's unstable. It's not sustainable, right? So free-to-play players coming in, playing for a long time, and new players coming in and starting to play a lot longer of time make investors feel more comfortable that this game is going to have more legs to, or better, or I guess stronger legs to stand on, and have the game last long term before they invest their money for further development.
Model, because again, it's spending money on gacha games is a personal choice. You don't have to do it most of the time, as long as the gacha game itself is good enough not to like force its players to pay for anything. I think that stigmatizing whales is not exactly a smart choice. I mean, if you do it ironically, that's one thing, but unironically hating on the people who are supporting your game, I don't know about that one, my dude. I've seen gacha games fail because all their whales, all their players have stopped paying for content, and the game just doesn't make any money anymore, and their company decides that, or the developers or their
Let's hear his example. I'm excited to hear what example he's referring to.
publisher decides it's not worth running those servers anymore, and so they close down. Trading cards have always been
Did you notice how he said this thing happened and then he never said which game it happened to? Did y'all notice that? Did y'all notice how he did not give a single example of a game that happened to? Brother, he pulled that shit out of his ass. Straight up. Here's the reality. I'm going to make fun of everybody who plays these gacha games, including myself. If you spend $100,000, you're a loser. If you play for 16 hours a day to get 5 cents in currency, you're a loser. It's the truth. We're all losers. And everybody knows it. And it's like this reality that everybody has to accept whenever they play these games, where it's like, wow, man, we are
make you and
we are in struggle times, man. We are in struggle times.
Confirmed to be a wanted pedophile. Do you
Well,
have
what are
any
you talking
thoughts
about?
on this? Channel name is Become Shark Food.
What the fuck? I don't care. Fuck that got to do with me. What do I think? Here, I'll give you a hot take. I think pedophilia is bad. Fuck, I don't care, bro. Let me watch my goddamn videos, man. Shut your fucking mouth. All right, let's keep going.
a thing, whether they're baseball cards or more popularly these days, like actual trading card games like Magic, Pokemon, that sort of thing. Streamers and content creators still keep doing like Pokemon card unboxings and stuff like that, and yet nobody seems to have a problem with that, right?
What are you talking about? The difference between Pokemon card mass opening and gacha card pulling. Oh my God, does Toho not understand this? Brother, when you pull a Pokemon card in real life, you can get your money back. There's a chance to get your money back. These are real world items that you're getting. When you're spending money in a gacha, you're literally just setting it on fire. There's resale value. You can't do that in a gacha game. That's why one's bad and the other one is more so accepted. Now, that being said, people are still going to call people dumb as shit for burning $100K on a box if they don't hit. But in a gacha game, you always miss. You don't get any resale value.
Right? They're not stigmatized for, oh, you're gambling for like a super rare card that you don't even know what you're going to get. And why is that? Why aren't they stigmatized? Is it just because, they're physical items so you can resell them? Well,
Yeah.
guess what, buddy? Chances are you're not going to get a super rare, like $1,000 card either. So it's like I'm not.
So one has a chance of happening. The other one has zero chance of happening. One has a % chance of 0. The other one has a higher than 0 chance. So how did bro know the solution? Bro even said the solution and is still so cope and in denial, he can't even acknowledge what he just said was retarded. Oh my God, bro is actually beyond cooked. Holy shit. I think this guy's more schizophrenic than me.
I'm not exactly like too convinced. Well, that's a bad way to put it. It's just like we've known about it, right? Us Westerners aren't completely ignorant of the whole gacha or like the loot box concept. It's just that, in my opinion, the reason why gacha games flew under the radar at the time was because, as you said, they were underground. They haven't hit mainstream yet. Gacha games were only just starting.
Hey, is there porn of this character? Hold up. Berserker Ibuki Doji. Hold on, let me pull it up. All right. Berserker Ibuki. This is character. That's the one. All right. Naked. Yep. What the fuck? Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, I really don't know what the point of this character is other than to jerk off to it. I'm gonna keep it a bug. Like, goddamn, this character is so hot, it's insane.
Starting to like ramp up in popularity, and without Genshin
Berserker Ibuki, big boobs.
specifically, it would have taken it a lot longer to hit mainstream. It's just that, you know, Genshin happened, and all of a sudden, post 2020, everybody's familiar with, everyone knows, like, or at least a lot more people these days kind of know what a gacha game is.
One point that Tuhu highlights is not the stigmatization of whaling, but rather the strange sense of elitism of being free-to-play. According to Tuhu, there are some that feel that the status of free-to-play is a symbol of entitlement. Of course, while there's nothing wrong with being a free-to-play,
This really isn't that rampant. I think streamers like Enviosity really push this narrative, but other than that, the whole free-to-play pride gimmick is pretty non-existent these days.
developers often don't benefit very much from such players. Since
They do, for player retention. They do, because they have to play more.
everyone has their budgets and personal goals, there's often no point in putting a specific spending mindset on a pedestal.
I think it's very dangerous to present factually incorrect information with such a matter-of-fact voice.
Otherwise, it would be like telling someone that they're playing the game incorrectly.
Out here in the West, I have noticed that there is a sort of free-to-play players. A lot of them, I mean, not all of them, of course. I'm sure there are chill, you know, free-to-play players out there, but there's quite a few free-to-play players who make their free-to-play status a status symbol. They pride on being free-to-play.
This guy's using as the extremist as the status quo. A lot of free-to-play players are just normal people, and you probably don't hear from them because they're just like, they're playing on like their iPhone 7, and they just play for 8 hours a day, and they don't talk to anybody because they're fucking struggling. You know what I mean? So like, there's not really that many free-to-play pride people.
That they see themselves as the quote-unquote superior players just because they decide to not spend any money on the game, either because they can't, right? They just don't have the money to, which is fine, or
Which is what you should be doing, Toho, because your ass got no money. So the reason why free-to-play pride gets incredibly overblown is because when people spend $500 to get a character, and then a free-to-play in chat says, "Yo, bitch, I got that shit for free!" You know? And then whales want to cry about it. But yeah, that's the truth.
or they choose not to, which is also fine because, you know, I understand if you don't want to support like predatory, you know, predatory business model, and you know, gacha games are kind of that. No matter, you know, how generous a gacha can be, that you can always argue that, you know, a gacha system is predatory. I'm not going to argue against that. In fact, I would agree to, you know, varying degrees. But the problem for me, and I think other people should also see it as kind of an issue too, is that the moment when people use their statuses as a way to put themselves on a pedestal so that they can call themselves better players, whatever that means.
Isn't this the guy who calls himself a gacha god? Isn't this the guy who says, I play 13 gacha games, so I'm better? Isn't this exactly what he does? So, why the fuck is nobody calling this shit out? Hello? Are we all watching the same video here? Are we all, guys, hello? What year is it? Are we all watching the same video here?
That's
Tuhu, you should Google the word hypocrite.
an issue. Because that just kind of sours the whole, I guess, community, I suppose. Like, puts in unnecessary tensions and like unnecessary cracks in a community that you'd rather not have, especially the smaller community is.
Ain't you the one putting pressure on the community by calling everybody out every video? Ain't that what you doing? Why are you moral grandstanding like you're the purveyor of justice and friendship? What the fuck is this shit?
The more susceptible it can be to, like, you know, obviously infighting in community, like within the same community, like, I don't want to call it like civil wars or anything, but like basically we don't need that kind of vibe in a
Ain't that what you did with your video series Delusional Gotcha Takes? Bitch, ain't that what you're doing right now? The fuck are you on about?
Gotcha community. One of the only differences between all of us is that, you know, how much money we decide to spend, and that's a purely personal decision, or at least it should be.
Tuhu is someone that has gone through the ringer with older era gacha games, and back then, things worked a little bit differently. Pity was not yet standardized, so it was completely possible to get unlucky and end up spending hundreds of dollars and not get what you want. So, I asked for a more personal question. Have you ever regretted your financial decisions?
Overall, no. I don't regret the whaling that I've done personally. Now, I am, like, my case is unique to me, or in other words, how I should put it is, if you ask other whales, they will have differing opinions too. I'm sure you can find a whale out there who's like, yeah, I kind of regret, like, spending this much money on this particular gacha game, or just gacha games in general. But for me personally,
I spent way too much on Cookie Run. I did. I couldn't control myself. I spent way too much on Cookie Run. PvP, bro, it unlocks a fiendish side of me. It does. It unlocks a fiendish side of me.
Personally, because my rationale for getting into whaling in gacha games and to begin with was for the sake of obtaining new characters and leveling them up and then using them in-game, because that's kind of the whole point of me whaling. So personally, I don't regret any of the money that I did spend. I guess the one way that I would say that...
Bro is unemployed, struggling to make rent with no job, begging me for money, begging me to react, begging me for a job, and then he says, nah, but I don't regret spending any of that money. Bro, Toho, do you think your life would be a little bit easier if you just, I don't know, were up $100,000 right now? Because me personally, I think that would make your life a little bit easier. Yeah, that's just me though. So I feel like you're kind of coping right now, there, buddy man. I do. Feel like we're coping just a touch, but that's just my opinion. That's just a theory. A game theory.
That I regret it, if I were to count this, is that 2 years ago I lost my original job due to a layoff that allowed me to whale in the first place, and I tried turning into like a gacha content creator. Unfortunately for me, that hasn't really been working out over the past 2 years, and so...
Yeah, that's because you boring as fuck. Straight up. By the way, it still ain't working out, brother. It still ain't working out. Bro, I can legit tell you how much money you made off this shit, bro. I can literally look at your channel right now and I can tell you exactly how much money you've been making off this shit. You spent $100,000 on gacha games. And by the way, you want to know why I'm going so hard on this fucking guy? You want me to tell you why I'm going so fucking hard on this guy? Because this guy's been a pain in the ass to everybody in this fucking scene lately while he's trying to act like he's the god of gacha games. All right, we're going to do some calculations here real quick. All right, so 146,000 divided by 500,000. You're making 0.006%. Let me make sure I did that right. Let me do 500,000 divided by 145,000. All right, so you made $50,000 times 0.06, or it might be 0.066. So, Toho, I believe that you've made $300 this month. That's what I believe you've made off of your YouTube. I would love to be proven wrong if you take out memberships. If you take out memberships off of your YouTube channel, if you're getting this, I believe you've made $300 fucking dollars on this. And you spent $100,000 to invest in this. So I really think that maybe we should be taking the dangers of whaling a little bit more seriously, because that's really not that good.
So a lot of my savings that I had saved up from that first job kind of like dried up. And so now I'm just kind of like surviving on fumes at the moment. So in that sense, maybe
This is why he's rage baiting everybody in the community, by the way. This is why every single video that he makes, he's shitting on every other CC while acting like everything he's doing is fine. This is why he calls himself the god of gacha. I know. It's insane.
I regret whaling on gacha games, but still, gacha games is my passion, and that I'm always going to hold on to that. I don't regret the money that I did spend, and I don't plan on like, beating myself up over that, because, the past is the past, now is now.
This is called cope as fuck. There is no way that he's saying, yeah, my channel's failing, and I don't have a job, and I have no money, and I really need money. Do I regret not having an extra $100,000 right now? No, I don't regret it. Bro, this is so cope. This is so cope. This is so cope.
And so I just keep trudging along, keep powering forward as I usually do.
Recalling horror stories from FGO in the old days, Tuhu brings up an experience that caused a major exodus in players.
We have plenty of horror stories. The absurd amount of money we've had to drop for like a single character before. My example that I mentioned to you earlier over Discord is that back in 2018 when we had the first summer event for FGO, mind you, this was before Pity, I had to drop 1,700 Saint Quartz for my first copy of Tama Lancer. To put that in perspective, that is the equivalent of about $800. Real US dollar.
Bro, you just spent 2.5 months of your revenue on getting one character. You spent 2.5 months of your paycheck to get one character. What do you mean you had to drop? You could just not get her.
And for perspective, I spent about $800 to get C6R1 Yoimiya in Genshin Impact.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. C6R1 back then can at worst run someone nearly 4.3 grand. I don't believe that he got that lucky. I don't believe it. I think he spent more than 100K, guys. I think he spent more than 100K. I think he's so... Yo, what up, say Totas? I think bro is so cope, he's not properly calculating out how much he spent.
To be fair, I got very lucky with my Yoimiya pulls.
I don't believe it. Picture it didn't happen. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Hold up. Tuhu, Yoimiya. He does not have his polls on YouTube, at least not that I can find. That is, nah, that's cope as fuck. Nah, he definitely spent at least $1,000, 100%.
Like, I got a couple of early 5 stars, and I only got, like, spooked, like, once or twice, or I lost a coin flip, like, once or twice, and that was it. But still, like, that should kind of give you, like, some sort of, at least a little bit of perspective on how absurd FGO and other old-school gachas before the age of, like, standardized pity existed.
Okay. Also, you saying that is incredibly, incredibly dangerous. Because you saying you maxed out a character, and let's say this is the reality, you need to list how fucking lucky you got, how that's an astronomical chance, how paying $800 is lucky, right? Like, this is just straight up misinformation.
My favorite anecdote relating to this that I always like pulling up was the original mass exodus back during the first Halloween event of FGO. Because to put some context here, back when FGO first came out, our very first, like, waifu banner.
I like how this dude says he plays 13 different gacha games, and the only one he talks about is FGO, which is like the biggest piece of dog shit out of any gacha game ever made.
Of the game was Tamacaster, who first debuted in Halloween. And so, because of that, because she was the first waifu banner of the game, a lot of players,
like, what's the point of playing 13 different gacha games and getting so well-versed if you only talk about one of them?
Saved up for, like, the first 3-4 months of the game just to roll on her. And so when the day came, when her banner finally dropped, we all went, a lot of people, a lot of the players went all in on her. Just to get fucked. Because again, FGO has no pity. It's got a 1% SSR rate, and at those rates, and as a result, the subreddit and other FGO forums back then immediately got flooded with what I like to call salt boards of just comments on comments on comments on comments of just people bitching about like how they spent this many Saint Quartz, how they grinded the game for all these months just to get shit on. And so a lot of the players just left, never to come back. They just quit the game cold turkey.
Ah, well.
And that was it. We never saw them again. Because that's when they learned just how cruel FGO's gacha truly was.
Ah, well.
The pity system is something that has been standardized in today's gacha games. It serves as a safety net to ensure that even if you're the unluckiest soul out there, there's a hard cap on the amount of currency you have to spend in order to get what you want.
Pities allow players to plan ahead, basically, especially with the way Genshin Impact implemented them, right? When Genshin Impact first came out, it introduced and standardized the idea that the idea of a hard pity, right? Obviously, unique to it, or maybe some other gacha games do this too, but it also has soft pity, so that, you know, kind of throws players an extra bone here. But at the very least, it has a hard pity. And what that does, along with its other gacha perks, such as, you know, alternating guaranteed rate ups, and the fact that your pity does carry over in between banners, like the game remembers how much you spent on a banner, and so it keeps your pity intact. all those mechanics.
I would like to note that the weapon banner never had pity. So this is misinformation. So the gacha game that invented pity is actually a game called Dragon Collection, made by Konami in 2010. Yep. So actually, you're wrong. And you know that, but unfortunately, your head is so far up your own ass that you didn't bother to do any research whatsoever. You just said something like you're 1,000,000% sure of it, and you're wrong. So how are those 13 gacha games you play working out for you? Because now that you've established yourself as the gacha god and all information that you spout is correct, yeah, welcome to Google, man. I'm going to fact check everything that you fucking say. You know what? Why don't we do that? Why don't we go ahead and Google that right here? What gacha game invented pity? Well, would you look at that? One specific game is the absolute originator of pity system. Early gacha games like Dragon Collection 2010 likely implemented an experiment with variation of this concept. Brother thinks that Genshin Impact invented pity. That's insane.
Mechanics together allow players to plan ahead.
Ever since the release of
And that's why people who pose themselves as the be-all, end-all, know everything, you gotta be careful with doing that, brother. You gotta be careful with doing that. And this is what I mean, man. Bro thinks he's the knower. Bro doesn't know.
Genshin Impact in 2020, the gacha game industry has been on the rise.
He said standardized. All right, let's Google that word. Standardized definition. Right. So he's saying that he caused everything to conform to a standard. I would invite him to prove that. I would invite him to prove that. Saying that is such a nonsensical take. You cannot prove what did that and what did not do that. Right? It's just an answer that you just pulled straight out of your fucking ass. It's like, oh, well, they're the one who made every other gacha game do it. Well, that's like not even true. Right? Because hundreds of games still don't fucking do it. Because the pity systems aren't standardized.
Even in Western gaming, given that many new players might be curious enough to wander into playing one, as a veteran in the space, what is
Techie dying on a weird hill? Okay, let's talk about it. Okay. Okay. What do you guys think I'm wrong about? Go ahead. Tell me what I'm wrong with. So, because you guys are saying, well, all of the popular games do it. That's because it's the same company. Right? That's because it's the same company. Yeah, I agree. Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail do it. That's not them standardizing the genre. That's just the same company doing that. It's really that easy, right? You can't say, well, this game made every other game do it, and then when you list examples, you say, Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail, and then maybe you'll say, like, and Wuthering Waves. So what, one other game? They made one other game do it? So why are we talking about how everybody only knows the big four, then you say the genre was standardized, and then you only list the big four? That makes no fucking sense at all. That makes none. Reverse 1999, FGO, Echo Apocalypse, Aether Gazer, Eversoul's AFK Journey, and many more. So you just said that Genshin Impact made FGO put a pity system in. Now, is it because of Genshin Impact, or is it because of the FTC regulation that have been currently been looking over these games? Doesn't HI3 give a 100% guarantee, so isn't Genshin regressing? Well, let's see. Does Honkai Impact 3rd have a pity? Honkai Impact 3rd has a pity system. Great. When did FGO add pity? Let's see if I can find this. Pet your cat, please. No, he's chilling. FGO has 330 pity. Did Genshin Impact standardize pity? No. There is nothing confirming that this is the game that standardized pity. There's nothing saying that online at all. 330 is absurd, and I 100% agree. Use the word popularized. Let's go over the exact take, and let's break it down bit by bit.
Release of Genshin Impact
together in remaining it has a hard pity. It also has soft. First came out, it introduced basically, especially with the way Genshin Impact implemented them, right? When Genshin Impact first came out, it introduced and standardized the idea that.
So you guys want to tell me I'm wrong when he said it introduced and standardized it? Because I promise you, the pity system has existed since 2010. So do you guys want to keep telling me that I'm wrong? Because there's a big difference between standardized and introduced, meaning that it invented it. Y'all fight me on nothing, bro. Y'all fight me on nothing.
The idea.
No, we're going to sit here until you say I was wrong. I gave you a hard time for no reason. The amount of people that said, bro, what? Because y'all motherfuckers can't pay attention. By the way, this is the echo chamber chat that you guys tell me I have. Everybody was on my ass because they didn't fucking hear the shit right. So go ahead. Go ahead. I saw so many of y'all type, bro, what? He didn't say that. That's crazy how when I reverse the footage, it says right there. So what's good, man? So what's good? What happened? That's crazy, right? That's crazy. You're nitpicking. We all know what he meant. No. He said, and I quote,
When Genshin Impact first came out, it introduced
the pity system. Not true, buddy boy. Not true. Pity's been around since 2010. And I don't need to be playing 13 gacha games to know that shit. So go ahead. You can say, I'm sorry. You can say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Go ahead. Because we got to hold this motherfucker accountable for every incorrect opinion and bad take that he has until he realizes he needs to stop calling himself the God of Gacha. He does. And once he does, I will stop reacting to his videos. It's really that easy. We are here to humble him, right? We are here. And you know what? Here's the other thing. The moment he stops calling himself that, the God of Gacha, I will even attempt to help him with his channel. I absolutely will. But right now, this guy's had an absolute ego explosion. And I'm going to be real. Nobody else gives a fuck enough to hold this dude accountable, right? So, yeah, that's why we're doing it, boys.
Standardize the idea that the idea of a hard pity. Right, obviously unique to it, or maybe some other gacha games do this too. But it also has soft pity, so that kind of throws players an extra bone here. But at the very least, it has a hard pity, and what that does, along with its other gacha perks, such as alternating guaranteed rate ups, and the fact that your pity does carry over in between banners, like the game remembers how much you spent on a banner, and so it keeps your pity intact. All those mechanics together allow players to plan ahead.
Ever since the release of Genshin Impact in 2020, the gacha game industry has been on the rise, even in Western gaming. Given that many new players might be curious enough to wander into playing one.
After what he said about your personal life, fuck this guy. Ain't true. But I be helping motherfuckers who don't deserve it for years. It's like my quirk. I call it pure retardation.
As a veteran in the space, what is the biggest misconception that new gacha players have?
Oh, the biggest one is that gacha games are pay to win. Easily. I mean, anytime I go into a non-gacha stream, say I go into Asmongold's stream and Asmongold starts talking about gacha, for example, for whatever reason, guaranteed half his chat, if not more, is gonna immediately start going, Omega lol gacha, right? Oh, the pay to win gacha, stuff like that. That is
It is pay to win.
Single biggest misconception about gacha games.
No, it's not.
And it's understandable because, again, out here in the West, we Westerners have our predisposed position against, gacha games because we essentially see them as like glorified loot boxes. Whenever non-gacha,
because they are.
gacha players look at gacha games, the first thing that a lot of them think is, oh, they're pay to win. Because they see a gacha game, right? A game or a genre rather that focuses on you spending a
Their game's built around slot machines.
currency, either in-game or real, sometimes even both, in order to acquire a character, which is essentially paywalled most of the time. So they see that and like, oh, okay, gacha games are pay to win, right? When in
Because they are.
reality, most gacha games are not like that, simply
What?
because, well, gacha games can't even be pay to win if they don't even have any PvP. So that whole argument.
This might be one of the most retarded things I've ever heard in my whole life.
And most gacha games, I would say, don't have any PvP, and even if they do, it's not very serious. The whole pay-to-win argument is already moot from the very beginning, and yet people insist on saying that gacha games are somehow pay-to-win anyway.
If you get stuck on a content, if you get stuck on any challenge, and you spend $10,000, that challenge will no longer exist. This is the most cope thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And winning doesn't only revolve or refer to PvP.
Ultimately, the choice falls onto you. As everyone comes with all walks of life with different backgrounds, don't let others dictate your spending habits. The most important aspect here is to practice self-control and keep
You don't have to pay to win. Yeah, but the option's there. You know what I mean? That's like saying, well, if I play Mass Effect and I don't fuck any of the aliens, then it should remove the nudity tag. Well, to somebody else's game, they will fuck the aliens. That's why they put the nudity tag in there.
track of your spendings.
I always say that if you want to whale, well, first of all, make sure you have the money to waste, right? Treat this like gambling. Don't spend money you cannot afford to spend, right? Especially in gacha games, because
Ain't this the dude who's struggling to pay rent, who spent $100,000 of money he didn't fucking have, and now he's telling people to spend responsibly? Brother, take your own advice.
you're basically never going to see that money back. So at least in real life gambling, you at least have a small chance of getting your money back. Here, there's no chance.
Bro, if you understand that, then why did you have an issue with the Pokemon cards? Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, you just had the solution to your own question again. Jesus.
If you truly enjoy a game, right? Even if you're super casual and you just want to pull for the characters because you just really like a character, if they're what makes you happy, then sure, go ahead. You should be able to spend that money as long as it's money you can afford to spend. Whaling in gacha games is a very personal thing because gacha games are very personalized, or at least that's kind of how they're designed to be, to appeal to players like it.
Here's what I think. You should have no problem spending $1 for at least an hour of gameplay. So if you've played Genshin Impact, I'm not going to guilt you if you've paid $60. If you've paid Genshin for 1,000 hours, I'm not going to guilt you if you paid $1,000. And the reason why that is because the cost of entertainment in today's practices and in today's society is very, very, very high. I'll be real, guys. It's $15 for a movie ticket that lasts 2 hours. That's $7.50 an hour to be entertained. You can actually save money and be happier if you do the $1 to 1 hour rule. However, when it gets to I'm spending $100 every hour that I play this game, well, man, I think you're just depressed.
Like personally. So if you really want a particular character, and the only way you can get them, or an easier way to get them is by spending money, sure, go ahead.
Oh, bro, 2B looks so hot. Holy fuck.
Right? You shouldn't have to be judged for that. However, if it turns out that like spending money becomes like a psychological problem to you, then you should probably stop doing that. Because
take your own advice, damn, bro.
At that point, if it's psychological, if it's something mental, then yeah, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to control that. But at the same time, it's like I still have to say, as long as you are prepared for what is about to happen and you are willing to accept the consequences that come your way, sure, go ahead and wail. But if you don't think you're prepared, if you don't think you can control yourself, once you spend money for the first time, and that again unleashes the floodgates for you, so to say, then maybe hold back.
As a saying from the gambling scene can often arise, know your limit, play within it. Thank you for tuning in. For the full version of the interview and other gacha discussion content, check out Tuhu's channel as well. Let me know what you agreed or disagree with.
Yeah, I disagree with everything he fucking said. You interviewed the wrong guy. Anyways, it should have been me. I'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. God damn, that guy is so cope, it's insane. Great. Jesus. Holy fuck. The amount of coke dripping from every single word that he said was fucking shocking. That was nuts. Great. We are now going to watch a video on the world's most unlikable piece of shit. Somehow I'm not talking about myself or Hassan.
He is not doing very
Jack
well.
Doherty.
So last time we talked about Jack
This guy
Doherty, he
fucking
apparently
sucks.
filed a police report saying that he was robbed at gunpoint in Beverly Hills, California. He
And you know what's crazy? He probably deserved it.
claimed they stole his $300,000 chain, chased him around, and tackled him to the ground.
Something
Now,
I usually
personally,
don't get
really
to
buy
say.
that story because he didn't have any bruises or cuts or anything, and he said that he was running at them with a gun pointed to his head. So I don't know. I kind of thought it was some pathetic.
Man, this shit's more fake than Amaranth and her husband's fucking arguments on stream. Yeah, fucking right, bro.
Attempt at insurance fraud, especially because it happened right after Jack lost his main source of income. His OnlyFans girlfriend broke up with him and called the cops on him. Now, we got some updates to the situation. Jack Doherty actually went on the No Jumper podcast with another puck, Adam22, and he basically just started crying about how his girlfriend left him. They also talk about how similar they are, both like sort of pimping out their girlfriend. McKinley has also apparently moved on. She's like going on dates with a streamer called...
Bro, every girl that I've ever broken up with, I've never cried over. I'm just like, oh, thank God. You know what I'll do? I'll cry because of how much time I wasted on these stupid motherfuckers. But I have never beaten myself up over a woman ever, and you will never catch me that way.
Lacey.
Hell no. I'm like, oh man, thank fucking God I'm free, bro.
You know,
thank
very
God.
real, loving relationship here. Zero sarcasm there. And she even talks about the whole robbery incident, saying that Jack just started filming her after it happened, asking
Now, maybe I'll pretend to farm a couple subs, but realistically, I don't fucking care.
for clips on TikTok. So as always, we're just gonna check in on the local doofus and see what's up.
Great.
So it starts with Adam22 and Jack just discussing their career.
So like, you know, basically rage bait your way into going viral. And it felt like you were kind of
Sounds like
pushing
Tuhu.
that pretty hard for a while and kind of took that like about as far as
Sounds
you could
like
ever take it.
Hassan.
Was that like an intentional?
Just like you, it's like, you know, same thing.
It's crazy because motherfuckers be saying that I'm a rage baiter. Brother, what if I rage baited? What? What if I rage baited? The only thing that I ever rage baited, there was one thing. The shit with Trump on Twitter. That's the only thing that I ever rage baited because it's funny as fuck saying Trump pissed people off that much that I just farmed it. I just farmed that shit. That is the only rage bait I've ever done. Me saying the truth and the truth making you angry is not rage bait, brother. It's not. Because Genshin fans getting angry at me for saying the truth? Hell nah. Sorry, brothers. Robin is not a lesbian. That's not a rage bait. That's the goddamn truth.
Thing, it's like you rage bait people so hard, you literally had another guy your wife. It's like,
Well,
how much harder can you rage bait after that, right?
Oh my god, not gonna lie, that was actually a decent comeback by Jack. I think
Yep.
I think it's very hard to be less embarrassing when Adam22 is in the room, the guy who literally had his wife get quote unquote railed, his words not mine, by Jason Love. Then Jack talks about
That's
McKinley
insane.
saying that she's a holy girl.
people give you the same thing though, because your girl was like doing OnlyFans or something, right?
But like that was like she didn't start OnlyFans like 6 months after we were together.
That's one
Like,
thing.
it wasn't like she had OnlyFans and I got like we were together.
The right wing dudes though will treat any girl who does OnlyFans
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's a straight up.
I had a holy girl for 6 months though, you know.
I really just feel that if you're in the sex industry and if you have an OnlyFans, you should be single. I really do. I really think it's like that straightforward, right? Like if you are selling yourself out sexually to other men, you should have the dignity to not dishonor your partner by doing that shit while y'all are together. And that might make you upset, but like it is cheating. It is. And you can't convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck if you say, well, I don't love him when he was fucking me in my ass. I only love you. Come on. Come on. Like, just have some sanctity of y'all's relationship. Get your money, whore yourself out. Now, once again, I believe once they retire, absolutely they can have a partner. But maybe if your partner's into getting cucked, go for it. But like, I just feel like it's so disrespectful. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much that can fuck with a man's mental or even a woman's mental for any male OnlyFans content creators. I just think that it's not the right thing to do. I genuinely don't. I just don't think it's a good thing to do.
Flex. No, I'm kidding.
A holy girl?
Unless you want to be an owner of the Cucking Pro Max.
Oh my god, the unbelievable cringe I'm hearing right now. He really called McKinley a holy girl. Really, Jack? Really? The
Really,
girl who tries
dude?
to promote her OnlyFans with
Really?
13-year-olds in her video. The absolute disgusting degenerate freak who should probably be locked up alongside you as well. That is the holy girl, huh?
Would you rather have this girl or this Eurus?
I'm taking that Eurus.
Eurus?
Yep.
All right.
Ain't that kid 5 years old? Why the fuck are we asking him this? What the fuck is this?
Would you rather have this girl or this McLaren? McLaren? Oh, okay. All right. Well, sorry. All right. Would you rather have this girl or this blue Lambo?
Lambo.
Still? Not good enough for you?
No.
Oh my gosh.
She's really the type of girl you bring
The
home to
kid's
your
like
mom, obviously.
5.
I just love how embarrassed he actually is. He's like, oh no, she only started the OnlyFans 6 months after we got together. She's actually really innocent and wholesome, guy.
Bro, that's worse. Oh yeah, I got a clouded boyfriend, so I'm gonna use him so I can whore myself out on the internet. What the fuck is this level of cuck pro maxing?
It's a holy relationship. Bro, nobody is buying this. You both are complete degenerates. Your gene pool needs a lifeguard. We can't have this guy procreating. And I just love this debate. They're basically debating who is the bigger puck. You know, Adam22 getting his wife piped or Jack selling out his girlfriend. To be fair, I think Adam22 wins that hands down. But Jack is a close second. I'm pretty sure if you offered him a couple million, he'd do the same. Then Jack sort of slips up and admits that he's the one who put her on OnlyFans.
So you the one who put her on the OF like wave? Like, oh yo, I think this would be good. Yeah, pretty sort of. I mean, obviously, like it was like mutual.
Yeah, because that's one of the other things that they always throw at you is that they basically make it out as if you're like OnlyFans management shit was like primarily like aimed at getting girls who are like fresh out of high school. Was that like a fake narrative from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, most of the girls I work with are like older than me, even like a lot of them.
Well, how old are you right now?
21.
Which is why when a lot of people are saying,
What
that
the
is kind of
fuck?
like his age range. Yeah.
Yeah, notice how you said the word most and not all. That's a very interesting choice of words, Jack. That means you're basically admitting that some girls are indeed that you wait until they're 18 and basically immediately sign them up to OnlyFans and take a cut of their income. And he
What
just
the
admitted that he is
fuck?
pretty much the person who sort of ruins these girls by preying on them. He said like she didn't even have an OnlyFans and he sort of convinced her, right? And I mean, he did say like a mutual or whatever, but let's be honest, if every girl that talks to this guy becomes an OF chick, I mean, that's one hell of a coincidence, right? I mean, we talked about this before, but I imagine it's that weird sort of predatory deal where he goes up to these girls and he's like, oh, you're gonna make so much money, you're so young, you gotta take advantage of this, I'll grow your business. And then Jack, Mr. Slimy Boss here,
Yeah,
just
that's a
ends up
yikes
taking
for me,
most of the
dog.
money, while you essentially just ruin your online reputation and you sacrifice a lot in life as well, right? Obviously, if you're doing OnlyFans, you're gonna have some family problems, some friend problems, some reputational problems, a bunch of problems. But again, I'm not gonna defend any of these girls either, because they are pretty degenerate, because you can't really be manipulated into making videos with literal kids and promoting your OF like that, right? I think it's pretty effed
Yeah,
up if
hell
you take part
nah.
in that. And
Hell
after this,
nah.
we talk about the whole
Get that
breakup.
kid the fuck away from there.
McKinley just broke up recently. Is that real or?
Yeah.
You down about it?
Man, what a surprise.
You gotta be, because y'all spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, man, it sucks.
Hey,
you know?
hey, I'm gonna just be 100%, brother. If you dating a girl as a content creator and they ain't trying to sign a prenup before y'all get married, you need to get the fuck out of there. Straight up. And that needs to be a conversation that you have on early. Like early. Straight up, hell nah. Jack Doherty, I hate to blow up your ego, but these women are not going after you because they like you for you, brother. They want your money, and that is fucking it. Hell no.
You know, it's like we spent every day together for 2 years straight. It's hard to go from like being with someone every day to like zero, you know? It's just like, it's a big shift.
What was the main root cause of that from your perspective?
Did you? Bro. Bro, I asked that shit within the first month. Every single fucking time. You know what I ask on the first day now? Do you have any mental illnesses that I should be aware of? Let me tell you. First date needs to be an escape room. That's how you check if they're crazy. Because women and men crack under pressure. That's where you take them. You take them to an escape room. Date 2. You take them to the pool. That's how you see them without makeup. That's how you tell if you're dating a hog or not. You try to see if you dating a mud face. You take them to the fucking pool and you make sure they go underneath the water. Hell yeah, or the water park. Yep, absolutely. What the fuck?
Perspective.
I don't even
Oh, and by the way, if a girl you meet or a guy you meet trauma dumps on you, the first time y'all talk, get out of there. Get out. Get the fuck out. Because if someone you don't even know is willing to tell you shit, their deepest, darkest secrets, you think they ain't gonna tell yo shit to everybody else? Hell nah. Get the fuck out.
I want to like talk about it, you know? I feel like it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to sit on a podcast and just yap about it from my perspective, even though.
Yeah, so obviously I don't really know exactly what caused this breakup or whatever. I can only guess. But
Crazy little life advice. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend ain't your therapist.
I think everybody already said this to Jack, that this is not a real relationship. Obviously, you two are just using each other. I feel like if you just accepted that fact, you would be so much happier. She's obviously only with you to elevate her brand and influence, and you were pretty much using her as a money generator, right? So for this absolute twerp to go on this podcast and act all sobby about it, like, oh my god, I loved her so much, like, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit. And you know, hypothetically, if he was actually dumb enough to fall in love with her or whatever, I mean, sucks to suck, okay? Another day, another sucker is born, I guess. What an idiot. Bro actually thought she was into his personality, bro. Ain't no way. You got literally the bottom of the barrel, trash, narcissist, dickhead personality who literally goes out there, bullies people while hiding behind security guards, bro. You really think girls are watching that and like, that's the kind of man I want? Said no one ever, bro. Anyways, after this, Adam actually asked a good question. He asked Jack if he's actually hurt emotionally in the relationship.
Isn't he young as fuck? He's 21.
Financially sad about
Jack
it.
Doherty.
No, it's already so like so much is so out there and it's so twisted and stupid already. It's just like I don't even care to like touch up on it anymore. I'll just leave it in the past and move on and just like
But I mean, I guess a lot of people probably wonder like, are you hurt from a business perspective, or are you hurt like emotionally? Like that was something you actually
way more emotionally than I am business wise. You know, it's like money comes and goes. Like I can make that money back like in like quick. You know, but it's just like it's more of like the time we spend together is like something I can't replace with like anyone else, you know?
Okay, this is hilarious because literally right after he broke up, he got the carbon copy Temu version of McKinley here, bro. Bro literally replaced his Tesla Model X with the Tesla Model Y. You can't be serious, bro. Bro's like, nah,
That's insane.
She's irreplaceable. She's the love of my life. Oh my god, I'm
hell
so
nah.
distraught. Literally
Hell
gets
nah.
the exact
That's
same
psycho-ass behavior.
like 2 days after. Also, is it just me or does this guy flip-flop like crazy? Because remember that video where McKinley was taking all her stuff from his house and then Jack kept bad-mouthing her, right? Saying like, oh, she's the worst. Never trust girls ever. I can't believe I trusted her. I gave her my life and this is what happened to me. And he was basically just saying that she's like the worst thing that happened to him. And now what? You're back in love, dude? What the hell? Can you make up your mind? If you were to ask my obviously expert opinion here, I would say he's only financially distraught because she was undoubtedly his biggest moneymaker. Okay, she was generating absolute bank from her OnlyFans, and Jack has now lost that source of income. So he's distraught.
She was the only
Nah,
person I
that's
really
weird
saw,
as
like,
fuck, bro. That's weird as fuck. That's weird as fuck.
It's like been the craziest past 2 years of my life, so it's just like.
And she's the last relationship that you'll ever get into when you're like a normal person. So like every girl after this, you're gonna have to be like a lot more precautious about because you don't know if they just want to, you know, get in there, use you for your clout.
I love how these absolute pucks here are assuming that anybody would want to be in a relationship with them. Literally 2 of the most embarrassing people on the internet in a podcast together, bro. You can't make this shit up. It's absolute cinema. Also, why is Adam pretending?
Brother, what other reason is for anybody to be with you besides that, bro? What else do you have, Jack Doherty? What do you have? What do you think you have?
Exactly that. It was transactional. And I feel like if you willingly get into a relationship with Jack Doherty, I mean, your brain probably runs on Windows 95, let's be honest. You gotta be like a different level of slow. Then we get some real solid advice from Jack here.
The clip that I noticed was the police being at your house. Why was there even need for it?
No idea, bro. It's insane. Like, when there's money involved, girls do crazy things. That's all I'm gonna say. Bro, it's just like girls are girls, bro. It's like, I really realized that, like, this past month, like, God.
Bro really wants to act like he has aura saying all this shit, thinking that he hard as fuck. Bro, Jack, you are dumb as shit.
Damn, like.
Wow, really insightful words from Jack Doughboy.
I know.
Here. Girls are just girls, man. For real, for real.
True. Yes,
girl, Jack.
queen.
What the hell happened? How could this happen to you? Nobody saw this coming. This is so shocking. This is my shocked face right now. Also, might I remind the audience, she called the police on this guy because he wouldn't let her take her stuff from his house, right? So isn't that you being a complete piece of shit? Because, like, why else would she actually call the police on you? And then you were even screaming at her while the police was there, just constantly shouting at her, recording her, putting her on the internet. So I don't know, just not a good look. Like, you're calling her crazy and stuff like that, but I feel like you're equally messed up in the head, you know? Now, one question that's always been on my mind is, does Jack Doherty actually watch all these videos we make about him? And the answer is yes. In fact, he is glued to the screen right now.
No.
Turns out he's probably watching this video as well, so everybody say hi to Jack real quick.
Hi,
but
Jack!
Yeah, here he is talking about Charlie, Penguin Zero.
Do you watch the hate documentaries that people make about you, or is that just not even interesting to you?
Which ones?
Shit, I don't know. I see the thumbnails.
I love that one. Those ones, I love
like 8 million views.
I love his videos, but like, when he makes them on me, I'm like, damn. But
You talking about Moist Critical?
they do be like hella hateful. Like, they can like I get where they're coming from for sure. It's funny videos. Like, I'm not like, oh, them for hating on me. Like, I get it. You know, it's just like, it's content. But some of the things.
I've never seen a hate video on me that actually had the proper context of the clips that are being referenced or the full story to any issue that I've ever caused. Right? And then, like, you know what's crazy? All the creators who that I talked to about their video have profusely apologized. Even the creator, Royalty is Here, made a hit piece on me about 2 years ago. And then I reacted to the video, and then he put out a comment saying, Oh, yeah, I did not know the full story of any of these fucking clips. That's why this shit don't bother me whatsoever. But when Jack be watching this shit, they're just like, man, yeah, I suck ass, don't I?
Things are a little like over the top. Like,
man, I must suck ass.
Is it really over the top to call you an insufferable douchebag? Isn't that exactly what you are? Like, you tell me, Pop Quiz, right? What do you call a guy who pays security to protect him while he goes and harasses random people on the street? I mean, my answer would be an insufferable douchebag. I feel like it's pretty fair to call out a...
I think the moment that pranks become only for the person doing the prank, it's no longer a prank, it's just harassment. I think prank content is the lowest common denominator of just absolute slop on YouTube. And I think it's just people trying to get away with crimes by dismissing it as a joke. I think it's so fucking gay. It's like these people where they tell this guy to go in a gym and try to get his 1 rep max of 315 to go for it. The guy can't do it. And when he's struggling to get the bar off of him, they walk away. And so he's stuck with 315 pounds on his fucking neck. Thankfully, somebody comes and gets the bar off of his neck. The guy gets up, knocks one of the motherfuckers the fuck out, and these guys have the nerve to say, bro, it's just a prank. It's not a prank. It's public fucking harassment, man. And you need to know that you gonna get yours if you be doing that dumbass shit.
A lot of the horrible shit you do. What do you call a guy who gets into a car crash because he's too busy looking at his stream chat, and then instead of helping his friend who is literally bleeding from the face and maybe has some serious damage, he immediately tries to film it and record it for content?
Like, motherfucker could have killed somebody here. I don't know how bro isn't permanent off of every platform. Bro could have fucking killed someone here.
Call that person a giant piece of shit. But no, apparently it's hateful to call a douchebag a douchebag. How about you take some
It's like when I called Frogan fat. You're gonna call that harassment, brother? That's me having eyeballs, brother.
Accountability for once in your life and realize why people are actually calling you the things they
nah,
are.
Straight up, 100%.
Please explain to me, how does this guy love Charlie's videos? Like, how can you watch him just completely shit on you and call you out and be like, I love this guy's videos, man. He really has some good points. Like, is it just going through one ear and out the other? Because he might be a huge Pegasus fan as well. You never know. I mean, I'm happy to have you, +1 subscriber, but I'd also appreciate if you, change your attitude a bit so I could move on and make videos on somebody else, right?
True.
Hateful, but it's whatever.
What's the narrative that you like? All right, that's not true.
For the record, Penguins is Moist Critical.
Oh, that
same guy, aka Charlie. Yeah.
Word. Yeah, what's some shit out there that you've seen people say that you're like, yeah, that's totally not true?
Everything. There's nothing like specific off the top of my head. Like, there's a lot of things people say, so it's hard for me to really think.
There's a whole bunch of lies, but I don't know any of them. But yeah, everything's not true. Oh, okay, man. Man, we really getting high off the copium here, huh, brother?
Think of something specifically,
Yeah. Just everybody's just wrong about everything, but
Jack Doherty is banned from every platform besides Party. There is justice in this world, man. Imagine that.
Yeah, can you like name one thing that they're wrong about? No. Just everything, like everything they're saying is just wrong. You know what I mean? No, actually, I don't, Jack. Like, I'd love to hear what they actually got wrong about you. The bro has no argument. Then he slips up again and admits that he's not even rage baiting. He's just naturally an a-hole, which is pretty obvious.
Like right now, I don't go out of my way to like be a asshole. Like I try to be very nice. I know people have a little stigma about me online. I want to change the narrative, but so I try to be nicer. Do better things with my money, like give back and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Trouble.
Yeah, am I living in a different universe? Like, when exactly have you ever done that? Because I've not seen that ever. When has Jack ever tried to be a good person trying to do good things? Because anytime I ever check up on this moron, it's
Oh, bro, the Vinland Saga background footage, man. I love this guy. I love this man, bro. Literally prime B-roll.
Another stupid stunt, right? And I'm not believing a word he says until he actually puts his money where his mouth is. I feel like people don't randomly change, and I don't think losing your OF girlfriend is like a traumatic enough experience to actually induce any change here. But anyways, let's check in on Jack Doherty's ex McKinley. Apparently she started appearing on streamer Lacey's stream, and they sort of like cringily flirt.
Oh, that was perfect timing. I don't know what's more beautiful, the fireworks or you? That was a good one, right? That was good.
Who the fuck actually watches this shit? Like, I actually want to know. This is some of the worst content I've ever seen.
Dude, I'm going to be real. Like, 99% of IRL content made by streamers, I just find completely fucking unwatchable. I don't know what fucking 12-year-old kids are watching this shit because they're too poor to afford a YouTube subscription. I just don't get it, bro. Like, it's just embarrassing. And like, these are the people that people like praise every single fucking day. It makes me want to fucking shoot myself, bro.
Really come home after a long day and watch two people cringe flirting in public? Jesus Christ, man, you gotta get a life if you're watching this shit. Now, apparently Jack caught wind of the stream and started donating to Lacey to try and get
Like, I find this content so cringe, where people are like, oh, dude, look at all my friends. They're like, oh, we're all hanging out. Oh, man, my streamer's talking to a girl. That's so cool. It's like, nah, bro. Like, I'll watch, like, Asmon. I'll watch, like, Moist, because, like, I like hearing someone else's insight on the video, and then me being able to put my insight in the chat, and then them read the insight. That way we can have like a good conversation and get to a deeper meaning or a better understanding. And it's nice, but watching these motherfuckers go live and like, dude, we're going to do a stream today, guys, where I'm giving $10,000 to prostitutes so I can show their OnlyFans. I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. Yeah, nah, I'm good.
McKinley's attention, it seems.
Oh! Oh my God. Doherty Jack, thank you for the 25 gifted.
Thank you. Of course.
Thank you for the 45 gifted.
Okay, wow, it seems like Jack learned a lot from Adam22 here on how to get completely pucked. So now you're donating to the guy who's supposedly her next boyfriend? You can't be serious, bro. How are you this pathetic? Anyways, then McKinley talks about the whole robbing incident.
Where's all the money? He had a bag, he had a gun, he had a mask.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
He literally put a gun to my head, I almost died. Then he came out but stole my wallet. So like, it wasn't that bad.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
That's gotta be traumatizing.
No, it's literally the most traumatizing thing ever, but...
At least it wasn't on camera.
It was on camera.
Oh.
Not the robbery, but like after the facts.
What do you mean?
Like my ex literally filmed it after.
Oh, he didn't turn the stream off?
No.
Okay, assuming she's not lying and this is somewhat real or whatever, Jack does seem like the type of guy to do that. Like, we did see from the car crash incident that he loves filming people after traumatic incidents for content.
Yeah, also be real. I don't believe anything that a disgruntled, bitter ex says on social media. Call me bitter or call me informed. I'm not really going to be like, oh, okay, so let me go to the person who hates you the most and ask them to give you an honest opinion. I'm going to give Jack the benefit of the doubt and claim that shit is fucking cap, but I could be wrong. But yeah, nah, I'm good. I feel like we will have financial and success motivated alternatives of them telling the truth. Feel like they're going to take that 9 times out of 10. Call me crazy, but any girl who wants to talk about any issue they had with somebody else, but then they only do it whenever that person's trending, I just feel like they're not really that trustworthy, guys. And I can't wait whenever I start trending on Twitter again to find out more things that I've done. I don't know why we're not talking about them now, to be honest, because ever since I stopped trending on Twitter, things have been real quiet, but it is crazy how two autistic OnlyFans girls and a bipolar, multiple personality disorder, trans person all came out with all these crazy ass stories the moment I started trending. I don't know. I hope we hear from them again next time I get trending. I better trend again. That way I can find out more lore of all this shit that I did. But I guess we're going to be quiet until that happens. I wonder why that is, guys.
Right? But anyways, it's hard to tell what's going on. Either like Jack faked it and McKinley is in on it, or he faked it and she's not in on it, or it's real but like obviously grossly exaggerated. I don't know, and I don't really care.
No. He said he wanted me to tell a story to get clips on TikTok, and I said I don't care about that. And I was just like, I'm kind of like traumatized right now. You can literally find it on TikTok, but
that is.
Yeah. So if you and I work out, and if I got robbed.
Hey guys, I'm gonna give you a hot take. I think Jack Doherty and his girlfriend are pieces of shit. Yep, I do. It's really that easy.
Would you still stream
First
like
of all,
after?
If me and you worked out, you would never be in a position to get robbed.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, we got Mr. MVP, simp! By the way, simping for a girl who thought it was a good idea to have Jack Doherty as a boyfriend, that's definitely gonna end well. But yeah, Jack asking for TikTok clips after a gunpoint robbery definitely sounds like a Jack thing to do.
Wild.
Jack's the type of guy to watch you get run over by a car and then pull out his phone and start doing the gritty. Now Jack responded,
Yep. They would never be in a position to get robbed because he can never buy a girl that much jewelry.
What a surprise, still a massive douchebag. It looks like he hasn't changed at all. Also, wow.
Yeah, but I got more money. That means I'm a better partner. Yeah, good one, man.
Wow, that is like shockingly similar to McKinley. Now Lacey responded again.
Jack Doherty calls Lacey broke, says he would never be able to afford what he can. Well, you think I'd give a That's the issue with him, is he thinks everything in the world is about money when it's not. I'd rather have less money and be a decent human being than be him and have more money. You think I care what that little tweak says about me?
Wow, actually based. That was like the one good take in this entire video.
True. Good shit, Lacey. Based. Man, I'll be real, man. Yeah, I think they're both pieces of shit. Lacey's fine with me, though. But, yeah, that shit's cringe as fuck. Like, comment, subscribe. Damn. Okay, another day, another video. Feeling good. We're fucking popping the hell off. And now, once again, we're streaming twice today. They asked him about Twitch ban. Ask you about Twitch ban. Hassan claimed he was asked about Trump, Israel, Houthis, Hamas, and even Twitch bans when stopped for additional questioning entering back into America. Great. Yeah, I'm going to be real. That came out of Hassan's mouth, which means I don't believe it. All right, great. Let's do a sponsor. We going to bang this shit out. It's going to be nice and easy. We're going to call this shit. We're going to search for category. We're going to do Ragnarok. Ragnarok X. I believe this is the game. Let me double check. Should be the game. Okay. Yeah, I can do that tonight. Easy peasy. And then... So, should I not do this right now? Hold up. This sponsor might be canceled. This sponsor might be canceled. Let me double check. Great. So I got one sponsor tonight. And then, is this canceled? I would really like to just fucking get this shit going. I guess we'll give it a second. Brand risk? No, we'll see. Hold up. Let me go piss real quick, and we'll see what's good. Right? It's really that easy. If there's no sponsor, then we're just gonna keep doing business as usual. Right? It's really that easy. Right? So we'll see. We'll see at the next 2 hours. But yeah, let me change myself back to. Let me not change anything. Let me just go to the bathroom real quick. And yeah, let me piss. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see if I'm streaming this shit or not.
Dim, dam, dadilam, vacarme, s'en va dans l'oubli éternel. Et Gustave, dom guardiam, dilim, didididilam, lutes sera dodilom, seram. Dim dim da 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 dim da 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 dim da di dum. Dim dim da 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 dim da 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 dim da di dum. Dans là-haut sera ravi, les toits à sur noir gris fera. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, courera effet. Clair, obscur, bordé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, trouvera effet. Clair, obscur, bordé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Ô clair, obscur, trouble, rature, clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, courera effet. Clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans...
Alright, sponsors on pause. Sponsors on pause. No sponsor today. It's really that easy. That sucks, as I really planned for my whole stream to be around this sponsor. So that fucking sucks.
Techie.
How do I make the best out of this situation? I think the way I make the best out of this situation is because I have to stream again live later. I think I call the stream right now. I'd be back at 6 o'clock. And then we do the stream then. And then I stream business as usual tomorrow morning. Hopefully that solves it. I'm kind of stressed the fuck out because that was like my whole plan for this morning, but it is what it is. So I will be back at 6 p.m. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. See y'all in 6 hours. I'm going to probably go for a walk, go to the gym, get some food, go to the vet, take care of my kitties, and then I'll be back later tonight. All right? See y'all soon. Peace, boys. Good stream.